like to start with what you've been seeing across industries, across the Asia Pacific region, which is your focus. What have you been seeing with regard to the responses that major businesses are taking to the challenges of the pandemic?
So I'm seeing two aspects. One is the consumer side. Let me elicit a little bit of what I hear from the consumer side. Okay? Mm-hmm. So the demand side of every business, what I see is that consumers are, like all of us, are looking at moving from what I call omni-channel to omnipresent. So we look at buying anything across multiple channels. That is something that is happening around. Okay? The second one, we always look for convenience nowadays. Convenience is the new currency that we are seeing. The third thing that we are seeing is that transparency, trust, and loyalty are very important for any businesses to survive. And we are also seeing a lot of consumers, because today we have a majority of the consumers are the Gen Ys and Gen Zs of the world. We are seeing them buying products which are much more environmentally and socially conscious. They're much more conscious, and they're buying products and services as well, which are more environmentally suitable as well. Okay? And the last one that I'm seeing from the demand side is digital ubiquity is the norm. So most consumers are today buying a lot of products or services through digital channels. Okay?
It's a big transition for people, isn't it, to make? Because before COVID, everybody was working on digital transformation and growth. Now they have to work on digital transformation, the pandemic, and growth. So the bandwidth is being spread a little further. Are you noticing that with clients? Are you seeing that pressure?
I am seeing the pressure because traditional brick and mortar companies who are not invested on digitization, they are feeling the pressure the most. Because their data is spread all around the world. Okay? And they are unable to make any sense out of data. Whereas if you look at the new age companies are today digitally born companies. They are born as digital companies.
Yes, that's right. It's easier for them.
It's easier for them, and then you just have to, for a particular context, put what is the data which you need to bring from multiple sources and make sense out of it. So that is why I think COVID has been a great leveler as far as business is concerned.
Yeah, fantastic. Can I ask you though, some of the stories that I've heard about the blockages of supply chain around the world are because it's not joined up.
Two important things happening here. First and foremost is companies are relooking internally to see, do they have all their data digitized so that their data can be passed on to others through the entire supply chain. Yep. So there's a significant amount of push going on in organizations looking deep themselves and seeing, have I got enough digitization of my entire work? Okay, and what do I need to do to bring my organization up to speed?
Yes.
The second thing which is interesting, which actually COVID has brought about, is the whole thing about what I call ecosystems. We are able to see new ecosystems being formed, like what you talked about. Many organizations through the entire supply chain coming together, okay? And they are able to come together to ensure that a particular person's demand is solved. Okay? The fact that automation is happening, and we are actually going to see at least a third of workplace activities being automated by 2030, and there will be a significant number of people who will effectively be out of jobs as well because of this particular wave of automation coming in. However, this has also given a lot of new opportunities as well. The opportunities which has come is in the area of health, e-commerce, and other digital opportunities have come in. By 2030, we are going to see a shortage of at least 4.3 million tech workers globally, which effectively translates to unrealized output of $450 billion.
What your advice would be to businesses and to educators and to governments, which is around finding that alternative employment for those people. But as you say, there's also going to be a tech shortage, so we need to entice people to come into the tech industry.
So my advice to governments will be, please invest in education and skills training. Very important to do both of this to transition your workforce.
One of the big challenges for them is to attract women into STEM subjects, science, technology, engineering, math. What is your solution to attracting women into the sector?
Yeah, and we just recently launched a program in where we are saying that we will, for people who are decided to, or for all the women who decided they're not going to work because of family pressures, we are telling them to rejoin and be at the comfort of their homes and still work for us.